Yes.
Ma'am, I wanted
Hello.
to ask regarding the PPT.
Okay.
So would
Yes.
we get it?
Yes, you are going to get the PPTs. Now, see, up till now, due to the busy schedule, because daily we are engaged with the lectures, 4 lectures, 3 lectures, 5 lectures per day, and later on also the as NBA is there, so we are fully engaged since at the night up to 11:30 we are engaged with some important work. So up till now, I have not got the time to start with the classroom session. So actually, classroom means Google Classrooms. I am engaging all of you in the Google Classroom. Maybe today or maybe by tomorrow, you will get the invitation to join the Google Classroom for CO B class. Okay, so you are requested to join for the CO class. Then through that Google Classroom, we will be sharing all the materials. Even I am going to share our video lectures over there. So later on, wherever required, whatever is whatever explanation, if you want to make it repeated, so you can go through those videos and you can watch those videos at any point of time, and you can resolve your queries. Okay, even the ppts I am going to share over there, whatever the materials I am having, even the assignments, C, conduction part, everything will be from the Google Classroom will be taken place. Even the same contents I am going to upload on the VOLP platform also. So you will be getting the VOLP invitations also. So for VOLP, you need to log into the VOLP, okay, or log into the VIERP. Over there, you will find the link for VOLP. In VOLP section, once you join with the code, then you can easily able to access whatever the contents has been shared by the faculty member. So this content sharing will not with respect to only CO, but each and every staff member is actually going to share both the things on classroom as well as the VOLP platform. Okay, so if anybody is getting any problem in VOLP or Google Classroom, so one resources is surely available for you, where you can able to download and go through the contents. Okay, so this is overall about the content sharing. Okay, do you want to ask anything else, or shall we start with the session then? Any other difficulties you are having?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Chalo, then we will. I will just present a PPT, and then we will start with the remaining sessions of yesterday's lecture. Okay, is this PPT is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So yesterday we have seen how the IS computer works. Now with this IS computer, now what we are going to do with today, I'm just going to tell you about how the control signals will be get generated. Okay. Now these control signals, if you can see, there are 0 to 7 control signals are there. Actually, I have got one subscription. From that subscription belongs to CO. Okay, that subscription belongs to CO, and they are having some lectures around it. Okay, so yesterday I have not got the time to share that video with you, but definitely maybe today up to evening or tomorrow I will share that video with you. I'm so sorry for that. Actually, I promised to send that video, but yesterday I was fully busy up to night 11:30. Even you might have received yesterday the SIG invitations. Yes or no? SIG?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So that is the one activity that I'm going to share with you today. That what is that SIG activity is and what you are going to do. Even we are going to discuss on SIG for 5 minutes in the at the end of the sessions. Okay. So just before 10 minutes, you will you please remind me about it, because here I'm not getting the time pointer na, so I cannot able to identify the time. Okay. Will you please? Somebody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to share these control signals with you. Uh, just 1 minute. Huh? I will just remove this structure of control signals so that I will getting the space over here. Yes, because if I take the blank slide now over there, I cannot use my pointer over here. So for some purpose, I have just removed it. Okay. Now the control signal. Now see, this is the what I can say the processor is involved over here. Okay. This is the processor P. Okay. Because this control signal is having the processor P inside it. Now, here if you see these control lines, okay, these control lines generate the control signals. So how much control lines are there? So there are total, likewise total 0 to 7 control lines are there. Okay, so it starts from 0 up to it will go to the end. Okay, so this is the seventh line of control signals. After this, from this IR, okay, from this IR I am getting the address, okay, and even I am getting the opcode. Okay, the major thing what I am going to get it here is opcode along with the address. Okay, so let us say opcode is something, today we will take the opcode as let us say 6. Okay, opcode is 06. Okay, and with that address is, let us say, 100. Okay, address is 100. Now here with this IR register I have got the opcode as well as the address. Now here from IR again I have these kinds of links. Okay, these are also 0 to 7 links. Okay, these are also 0 to 7 links. So likewise in between links are there. This is the 0, this is the 1, this is the 2, and likewise here 7 link is there. That means what here has been formed? Okay, here a matrix kind of thing has been get formed. Now when 100 address has been reached, so here 100 address has been reached to the processor, where processor comes to know that at 100 position there is one instruction for which 06 is the opcode. So for that 06 opcode, first of all let me convert this 06 into the binary number. So for converting it into the binary, what I can do is 4 8, sorry, not 1 2 3, sorry, eraser. Okay, so 1 2 4 8, then 16, and likewise. Okay, so here my opcode is 6. 6 means 0, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 1 is 0. Okay, and here again 4 zeros are there, 0 0 0 0. Now here how many ones are there? Only 2 ones. So it will take the only 2 as on, and rest control lines, okay, rest control lines as off. So here let us say that this is the 0 line, so here it is off. Okay, first 1 2 3 4 5, first 5 are 0. So 0 1 2 3 and 4, up to 4 lines the value is 0, that is it has been off. Then after the fifth line, this is, suppose this is the fifth line, and in this fifth line here also I am having 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So here it will make it as a, because as we are having 7 over here, okay, we are having 7 over here, so here also first 5 lines are 0. And if this is the fifth line, suppose this is my fifth line and this is my fifth line, so here somewhere it will meet 5 and 5. So here these signals will be get on. So let us consider that LED is on over here. Similarly, if this is the line number 6, okay, this is the line number 6, and if this is the line number 6, okay, So 6 and 6, here somewhere this signal will be get on, and again 7 line will be off. Okay, 7 line will be off. That means with this 7 by 7, this particular circuit, during this 7 by 7, only these two circuits, only these 2 points of circuits will be on. Means what? It will execute when these 2 points will get on in this circuit, it will execute the 0 at the address 100. And this is the overall what I can say logic to generate the control signal. So here it will generate the control signals of line number 5 and line number 6. So suppose it has generated a control signal of um, 0 0 2 1 0. Okay, so this is the control signal which has been get generated. Okay, or 0 1 1 0, this is the control signal which they have generated. So this control signal will be sent to the processor. So this will be sent to the processor, that this is the code, this is the code which has been get generated to to execute the instruction which is having opcode 6. So what is the opcode for what is the instruction which is having opcode as a 6? So let us say subtraction. Okay, let us say subtraction is having the opcode as 6. This is the predefined opcode. We are not designing any kind of opcode. If you go to the assembly language book, you will find some instruction set. For every instruction set, the specific opcode table has been given, and we are just following that opcode. That means this particular program control unit will just follow the opcode. So whatever has been happened for this instruction number 100, okay, that means address number 100. Now next time the program counter will flow on and it will move to the instruction number 101. Then this 100 will get disappear, and here the 101 instruction will come into the picture. Now if 101 is having some opcode, like let us say 16, okay, 16A something, likewise the opcodes are there. So for our convenience we will not consider A, we will just consider the 16. Again for 16 the code will be get generated. So 1 and 4 0, 1 2 3 4, and again previously 1. Please remember one thing, that all these are the 8-bit instructions. Okay, please remember that these are the 8-bit instructions. So it is having 8 bits. Okay, it is having 8 bits, 4 and 4. Okay, so for 16 again, here here somewhere let us say this control signal has been get generated for 16, and rest all are 0. Okay, rest all are 0. Now you will say that how 16 will be get generated? So this 16 will be get converted to the binary number, and in binary we are getting only 8 bits. Okay, we are getting only 8 bits, and then this instruction will be get performed. Now if 8-bit is there, then that will be okay. Okay, so up to this we can able to generate 1 2 4 8, then 16, then 32, then 64, and then 128. So total 128 of bits. More than that, 128 bits instruction will be get executed. But for us, we will not get such kind of, that means such a big kind of instruction set is not available. So every instruction will get fitted into this 8-bit instruction set. So even though the processor is 64-bit, okay, even though the processor is 64-bit, but this we are enough with this 1 2 4 8 32 64 128-bit of instructions. Okay, so this is the overall structure of the control unit. Now any problem into it, everyone? Do you understand, guys? Yes.
Ma'am, so each address has its own control signals, right?
No, address don't have control signals. The instructions have the control signals. For instructions, we will generate the control signal. And how we are generating the control signals for instruction? By following the opcode. And opcode will be get converted into binary number. And that binary number respective control signals will be get generated. Okay.
So like, how do we differentiate between address hundreds opcode and address content ones opcode? They
Pardon,
have the
your
same.
your voice is actually too much noise is there, so I'm not getting your point. Will you please repeat? Hello, pardon. Hello. See, if you're writing something on the chat, I can't go into the chat right now.
Yes, ma'am. So is it better now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So how will we differentiate between two different addresses controls? Like if there are 7 by 7 grid common for all the addresses, then 101 and 100, how will we differentiate between them?
Because of program counter, at a time only one counter will be active. Because of that, at a time only one address will be there in the program control unit. Okay, with this processor at a time only one address is there. Okay, but nowadays, as there is a dual core processor or quad core processor, in previous days there was only one processor. Okay, so one processor is carrying the capacity to execute the instruction one at a time, but nowadays multitasking is possible. So four processors are there, then four processor is having the four different control lines. Okay, four different addresses at a time. So in this architecture, if at a time we are processing only one instruction, nowadays with the help of technology, if four processors are get involved, then at a time we can process the four instructions per second. That is why the speed has been get increased. In the previous machines of is computer, that facility was not there. We have only one processor inside the computer, so because of that the speed was very low. But nowadays the processor has the double of capacity. Not I said double, it has been get fourth power. So because of that the speed has been get increased. So here in this case, as at a time only one instruction will be per second, only one instruction will be get executed, so there is no any confusion, because these are the temporary registers. The IR is also temporary register, IBR is also temporary register, MAR is also temporary register. So for each and every instruction, for example, if I am having 100 lines of code for my one program, means that 100 times this particular circuit will work. If I am having 1000 lines of code, then for 1000 number of times all these circuits will be in process. Okay, so it is totally dependent on the total number of lines of code for this is computer only. But if you consider the computer design for today's scenario, then we will be using the quad core and hexa core like processor, where eight processors are involved and those are in an integrated manner. So the speed is actually double triple. That means it can't, you can't even imagine what is the speed. So even though it's the 1000 lines of code in case of GPU, still it takes a fraction of second to execute a program. Because when we execute the program which is having graphics involved into it, like if you play a game of, let us say, Mario or Temple Run, and if you don't get the speed to run, then at that time it will be a boring game. So to play such kind of games, your processor capacity must be high. So all these games will be get developed on the GPU machines. Okay, that is the machines which is having higher graphics power and having the 8 quad core kind of processor is involved in GPU. Okay, where 8 number of processors, 16 number of processors are involved. So you are getting such a good speed that even your eyes cannot match that speed. Okay, even your eyes cannot match that speed. That is why, due to that high speed, we feel sometimes exhausted if you play that game for more number of times. Okay, so that is the difference. Now you got it. Yeah, okay. Anybody else, or shall we move ahead? Because today we are going to go for the second generation. Shall we move then? Anybody is having any problem? I'm going to share these contents with you. Even this control line structure is not available in the Williams Stallings. Okay. These are the things which I have actually subscribed and which I came to know, which are not there in books also. So there will be no any question on these control signals. Okay. But MCQ kind of questions will be there. Okay, so don't worry about it. Even though if you not understood the whole concept, no worries. When I will share the video with you, at that time your concepts will be get more clear. And even though after that time period, after watching a video, even though if you feel that you have not got the concept, please ping me personal. I can always able to once again able to make you understand that concept. Okay, so don't hesitate to ask for any kind of queries. Okay, so I think if there are no problem, I will go ahead. Yeah. Okay. So yes, now we will move for the history of computers second generation. Now see, in first generation we have seen the vacuum tubes has been used. Okay. Now in second generation we have moved for these transistors. Okay. Now vacuum tube is something which consists of the dense material, and because of their viscosity, we can move ahead and we can watch some display on the screen. Okay. But with the transistors, it is very smaller in size, which is cheaper in number, and as compared to vacuum tube, it dissipates the less hits. Because if you use the vacuum tubes in previous 30-40 years back, actually, uh, when we used to have the vacuum tubes, then if you run your television for more than 5-6 hours, then at that time the TV has dissipate the so much heat that the surrounding of the TV has been get that means accumulates so much heat over there, then it generates the problem for the television as well as whatever equipments you have kept aside the television. So because of that problem, because of so much heat will be get generated during the working of that vacuum tube, it has been get replaced with the these transistors. This transistor is also a solid state device, which is actually made up of the silicon. And Bell Labs, still now the Bell Labs exist, and it is generating the fabulous kind of inventions in the electronic circuitry. Okay, so the first transistor has been get developed in 1947, and it was not until the late 1950s these fully transistorized computers were commercially available. That means there will be no use of vacuum tube. Now the full use of transistors are available. In yesterday's video also we have seen the transistored computers. Okay, where it has been made with the transistors. Even with the naked eyes we can see the transistors placed. There are hundreds and thousands of transistors has been placed on the wall of the rack, and you can see the computers were used. Okay, so this is the computer generation where from 1946 onwards up to 1991 we have seen the how the things has been get changed. Okay, and it has been also measured in terms of the speed. So vacuum tube has been used from 46 to 57, then transistor from 45 it has been invented, and 50s, late 50s it has been started use up to 1964. Then from 65 to 71, small and medium scale integration of different circuits all together into one board. Okay, into one board. Then large scale integration 72 to 77. Then 78 to 91, very large, and then ultra large scale integration. That means what? If the previous size is of the, let us say it occupies the whole room, then when you start the integration of the computers, that means if you do the compact work, then from room size it has occupied the half room. Then from half room, when it has been shifted to the large scale, then it has occupied one fourth of the room. Then after large scale, when they went for the very large scale, then from one four to one 1/6 1/8, likewise the occupancy of the room has been get reduced, and the speed of the operations per second has been get increased. And in ultra large scale, we can see that the 1991, the PC can be get accommodated onto one table. Okay, so this is the PC where the PC has been get accommodated. This is the structure which is having in 1991, where this is the CPU and this is the monitor, and they don't have the mouse over there, so only one keyboard is there over here. So keyboard, this is the keyboard, this is the CPU, and this is the monitor. Okay, and still these monitors are using. In 1991 also I have seen that many of the what I can say historic computers has been placed during the PCCOE is actually having not PCCOE, Pimpri Chinchwad. Over there one science museum is there. So in that museum I have seen the computer. If sometime time permits, we will actually go for science museum to industry visit where over there. Actually, every 28th of the February is the Science Day. On Science Day, we used to go to the museum to study various techniques, whatever the projects these people are going on, and how they are working. So that things are available. So yes, this is something called as the computer generation up to 1991. Okay. What are the second generation computers? So yes, see here I have shown you the second generation computer, but here mouse is there. But this is just an image I have taken, but over there of time period there was no mouse concept like a mouse. So it is the more complex arithmetic and logic unit control units. It has use of high level programming language. Then but do you know what is the high level of programming language and low level programming language? Can anybody tell me about that? Yes, guys. Anybody?
Low level language is binary language, I guess.
Yes, yes. Very true. Very correct. Anybody else would like to highlight something?
High level languages are slower than low level languages.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
And high level languages are more readable by normal users.
More readable. Okay. Okay. Uh, yes. Anybody? Or shall I tell you? Okay, I will tell you. See, low level languages are the languages which are only understood by the machines. Okay, it always takes the more time to execute the particular instructions, while high level language doesn't take so much time. It executes the instructions at a faster pace. Okay, then these particular high level languages are converted into the machine specific language, uh, where we can always convert high to low level, but we cannot convert the low level languages to high level. How to convert the high level language with the low level? With the compiler, because when we are writing any program into a particular programming language, we are writing whatever we used to produce as a program, we are writing that program in any particular high level language. Let us say I have used the Python language. So the machine doesn't understand the Python language, but when I execute, when I first of all compile my program, after writing the program, when I compile it, the compiler plays an important role where it converts that high level language into low level language. And then your machine, that means that engine, will understand what you wanted to convey to the machine. And then machine will generate the particular instruction set, and then the at control unit the signals will be get generated. And this is such a high speed what I can say task. Within a fraction of second you will get your program get executed. So it is a kind of fraction of second task. Okay, so that is something, a difference between high level and low level, where high level are getting converted into low level, but low level will not be get converted into a high level languages. Okay, and then in high level language, actually the we can say that sometimes performance is get lower down because of some constraints of the programming language. But in low level language there are no any specific what I can say performance related issues. So it always, whatever is the programming construct, at the end they are having the same kind of performance. So that is the one of the things. Okay, uh, here provision of system software. System software is something, a software, let us say my OS. Okay, my operating system is one of the system software. Okay, operating system OS, but this OS consists of 7 components. So system software are having 7 different components. So what are those components? Assembler, linker, loader, compiler, debugger, and interpreter. So these are the major, what I can say, the major components of the system software. So compiler is involved in compiling the program. Interpreter is nothing but the component which actually calculates the interpretation. Interpretation means extracting the meaning out of the program, what exactly the programmer wish to convey to the machine, that is the interpreter. Assembler is something where assembler is producing the exe, that is executable file, that is the task of the assembler. Then debugger is extracting the syntactical errors or semantical errors, that means semantical means logical kind of errors. So that is the task of the debugger. And what else remaining? Assembler, linker and loader. Linker is something it links the object file, it links the executable file to the particular program file, and then it will load that file to the with the help of loader it will load that file to the main memory, and then main memory will get execute the exe file. So likewise, there is one flowchart. Actually, system software is also a beautiful subject. I have taught that subject many more times. So there is so much to speak on the system software. Actually, assembler is having one complete chapter, linker is having one complete chapter, loader is having one complete chapter. So I have just given you a one-line definition of the system software. So guys, I am having many more to tell you, but just due to lack of time, or that is not included in your syllabus, so because of that I am not going to get into details of it. But just to know that system software is the part of the OS, and where it consists of the 6 to 7 different components, and because of that components we can easily able to run any of the application on the machine. If OS is not there, you cannot execute any program. So OS is the platform which gives us the opportunity to execute our application software. Okay, application softwares are, what are the application softwares? Different application software, anybody?
Mozilla Firefox.
Yes, correct, very good. Mozilla Firefox, Java programming, your games, your what I can say, Microsoft operating PPTs, Word file, everything, whatever you click and get it open, that is the application software. Okay. So what system software does? It will load the program. It will move the data to the peripherals and libraries, perform the common computations. Okay, I have told you these things, but these are only 3 points, but I have given you the overview of the these 7 components. Okay. Then appearance of this Digital Equipment Corporation. It was there in 1957. This DEC is the first computer. DEC means Digital Equipment Corporation. This is the first computer. Begin with the mini computer called as the mini computer phenomena, and it was very prominently used in the third generation. Okay. Yes, this is the IBM 7094 configuration. If you see, it's very simple. Okay, CPU is there. Without CPU, the performance cannot be there. So CPU, this is the multiplexer. Okay, this is the multiplexer. So this is 2 raised to 4. That means here I am getting total 6. If you calculate these arrows, okay, these are the 4 arrows. This is 1 arrow and this is 1 arrow. So total is 6. Okay, total is 6. So multiplexer is something having 1 is to 6 kind of things. And this is the bidirectional arrows. Okay, so I can say that this is 6 to 6 multiplexer. That means 6 input and 6 outputs are there. Okay, these are the bidirectional arrows. If you see carefully, all these are the bidirectional arrows. So bidirectional means there are 1 is to 4, 1 is to 2, then 1 is to 6, then 2 is to 2, 4 is to 2. So according to our what I can say requirement, I can choose the different multiplexers. Okay. So because of this multiplexer, the speed factor has been increased. Okay. This is the one particular block which allows us to give the multiple input and multiple output at the same time. That is the only functionality of multiplexer. So as soon as CPU is there, okay, so here we will be having the memory. Without memory, you cannot save the thing. So that is why memory. So these are the data channels which carries the data from multiplexer to the these are the various output units. So teleprocessing equipment, hypertapes, disk, drums, card reader, line printer, punch card, magnetic tape. These are the output devices where I can easily able to put my output. Okay. So this is the just simple architecture of 7094 configuration. Okay. Any problem? Is it clear? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So third generation we will take in the next lecture. Okay. And just let me check how much has been pending. I think this is the last part of, yes, this is the last part.
Hello.
Third generation. Yes.
Ma'am, can you repeat the role of multiplexer?
Multiplexer is something, a block which is having a facility where the multiple inputs and multiple outputs can be get performed at the same time. Here you can see total 6 arrows are there, and both the all the arrows are bidirectional arrow, means it is the 6 input versus 6 output multiplexer. Okay, sometimes the multiplexer is having only one input and it may have the two outputs, then it becomes 1 is to 2. Okay, one input, then it may have two more added, then it becomes 1 is to 4. Okay, if you add more 2, then it becomes 1 is to 6. But if you feel one input is not sufficient with respect to 6, then we may add one more according to our convenience. So it becomes 2 raised to 6. Likewise, multiple combinations are possible with the multiplexer. So there is no limit on the number of inputs and outputs. So just to increase the speed with respect to input lines versus output lines, the multiplexer is used. Okay. Got it, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So now I think we have last 10 minutes. Is it? No. Okay. So here, Shall I complete then third generation, but then SIG part will be pending. I wanted to convey to you the SIG part. Okay. So I will stop presenting. Okay. I will share that SIG with you. Just 1 minute. SIG is something called as the special interest group. Okay. Special interest group. Now, what is this special interest? Special interest is something, for example, somebody is interested in learning machine learning. Somebody is interested in learning the what I can say, Internet of Things. Somebody is interested in image processing. Somebody is interested in, let us say, social media. So I have given three different opportunities. In that, the first SIG carries interest group where it is included machine learning, artificial intelligence, and then okay, here it is not there. So machine learning, artificial intelligence, and computer vision, all these topics has been included in SIG number 1, and that is headed by me. Okay, as I am the expert in machine learning and artificial intelligence, computer vision, Putane sir is expert into that, and even some more faculties are there, Ratnamala madam and likewise, who are actually working in machine learnings and IoT and likewise. So that is included in SIG 1. In SIG 2, actually data analytics is there, where somebody who is interested in big data, data analytics, or data pre-processing, and even along with the data analytics, even one more topic is there that is called as the image processing, which is the part of SIG 2. Okay, and in SIG 3 we have the social media analytics and likewise. Okay, so see guys, these are the tentative areas which I have given. We all the faculty members have some expertise in it, and we have some projects with us. Now what you have to do, suppose I have given one table in SIG which I have shared with you yesterday night. So you have to go on SIG 1, 2, 3, and you have to enroll in any one of the SIG. Now guys, see, this is something extra activity which we are doing, and this is for those persons who are actually interested to do some kind of research, or the activity which is conducted by the faculty members. So if you wanted to collaborate with us, that means actually we would like to have the maximum number of students with us, because we have to run with the multiple projects. When college is going on side by side, we will also learn about the how SIG will learn, how SIG will benefit the students, how it will benefit the staff, and likewise. Okay, so that's the one thing where actually what we will do, we will research on particular topic, we will study something new, we will study some new technologies along with the faculty. Even faculty will give you the guidelines to how to proceed. Then in that case, suppose अगर आपने कोई एक प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर लिया, फॉर एग्जांपल अभी मैं एक प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रही हूँ जिसमें we are working on to calculate the vitamin D efficiency in from your body. तो डेली आप अगर धूप में जाते हो तो आप कितना परसेंटेज ऑफ डी एनालाइजर आप यूज करते हो, आपकी बॉडी कितना एब्सॉर्ब करती है, उसके लिए कुछ सेंसर्स यूज किए हैं. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू एग्जांपल. So that's the one kind of project. Or I'm having one more idea with me where it's a agriculture based product, even medical based projects. So some projects are there, some problem definition. और हम कौन से problems लेंगे, हमारे आजू बाजू में, हमारे सोसाइटी में, हमारे सोसाइटी और हमारे एरिया में, if you find some problems, our own society or our own persons, what I can say, the community, actually community is facing some problems on a daily basis. So as an engineer, it's our humble duty to serve the country. So in how we are serving the country, then we will develop such project. For example, किसी ने तो सोलर का प्रोजेक्ट बनाया, उसमें लाइट जनरेट किया, एंड आपके गांव में जहाँ पे आप लोग जाते हैं, तो दे हैव डोनेटेड दैट प्रोजेक्ट ओवर देयर. ओके, so to develop that particular project, okay, from where they have got the funding. So college has provided them some funding opportunities, and from that funding they have developed that project and they have donated that project to that particular village. Okay, तो उससे क्या हो गया, एक सोसाइटी का फायदा हो गया, आपको कॉलेज से लेटर मिल गया जो आपको प्लेसमेंट में प्लस पॉइंट्स देगा। अलॉन्ग विद दैट उन बच्चों ने वहाँ पे उस प्रोजेक्ट पे काम किया था, सो दे हैव गॉट द एक्सपर्टाइज इन इट, they have again searched for such a major project where they can help the society. Even some projects are on covid, some projects are on garbage collection likewise. So whatever Indian people are facing the problem, those where our focus area where we are working, we are applying our technology and we are producing the solutions for it. उसमें क्या होगा कि अगर आप पेपर भी पब्लिश कर सकते हैं, आप उसमें आईपीआर यानी पेटेंट पब्लिश कर सकते हैं, और जिसका आइडिया रहेगा पेटेंट उसके नाम पे रहेगा, ठीक है। वी हैव आल्सो गॉट सम टीम हु कैन प्रोसेस द पेटेंट्स एंड कॉपीराइट्स, ओके। सो आप उसमें से पेटेंट प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हो, या फिर हम किसी इंडस्ट्री को अप्रोच कर सकते हैं कि सर हमारे पास ऐसा कुछ अच्छा आइडिया है, अगर इंडस्ट्री हमको सपोर्ट करती है तो फिर हम लोग ये प्रोजेक्ट आगे कैरी फॉरवर्ड करना चाहते हैं, तो इंडस्ट्री स्पॉन्सरशिप लेटर हमें उससे मिलेगा। अगर इंडस्ट्री इंटरेस्टेड है तो हम उसमें से कुछ किट्स डेवलप कर सकते हैं, कुछ लैब डेवलप कर सकते हैं। सो इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ रिसर्च आउटकम विच वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग फ्रॉम दैट एसआईजी ग्रुप, और इसमें सब फैकल्टी इन्वॉल्व है। तो आई इनवाइट मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम योर क्लास who would like to contribute to the society. So you are requested to enroll yourself in the word, okay. That means in the document which I have shared with you, even the document which I have presented in front of you, you can see that there are so many benefits over there. अगर आप बेनिफिट्स देखोगे तो यहाँ पे आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी आपके आइडिया डिस्कस करने के लिए, प्लेटफॉर्म मिलेगा जहाँ पे आप आइडिया शेयर कर सकते हैं, आप उसमें से सम क्रिएटिव वर्क कर सकते हैं। हमें उसका फ़ायदा एमबीए नेट में भी होगा क्योंकि उसमें डिपार्टमेंट की ग्रोथ होगी और आपकी पर्सनल क्रेडेंशियल्स भी बढ़ेंगी। उसमें हम सोसाइटी को कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं, नॉलेज एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं, नई टेक्नोलॉजी लर्न कर सकते हैं, एंड ऑब्वियसली यू विल हैव द एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ टीम बिल्डिंग एंड कोऑपरेशन विद each other. So that is the benefit. And once we have started with that particular activity, then we can easily able to go ahead. So it's the something new thing which I would like to start in the department because I am the research and development coordinator from our department. So that's something I expect from you people. So I once again invite you to collaborate with the faculty members and help us to serve the society. Okay, so that's the end from my side. Guys, I have completed my SIG. If you have any problem with respect to SIG, you can pick me up. I will surely answer your questions. Okay. Now, all of you are requested to mark your attendance in the chat box with your name and a roll number. Till the time, if you have any difficulties, you may please ask.
Ma'am, we have to only enroll for one SIG.
Hello, Akash. I'm not getting your voice.
Ma'am, we have to only enroll for one of the SIG programs.
No, I'm not getting, beta. Your voice is scrambled actually. Will you please ping me on my personal number?
Ma'am, any pre-knowledge is required in any of those fields?
Right now, no. Even though if you don't have, but only the thing is that आपकी इच्छा होनी चाहिए. It's totally a your wish to learn something new. क्योंकि जब भी हम लोग enter करते हैं, we don't have any knowledge, but you must have the interest in it. ओके ऐसा नहीं है कि ये कोई फोर्सफुली एक्टिविटी है, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट। सो देयर मस्ट बी समथिंग बिकॉज कैसे है ना कि टाइम कभी मिलता नहीं है, टाइम हमें निकालना पड़ता है। ओके तो अगर हमें कुछ नया सीखना है, कुछ नया करना है, अगर आप अभी से कोई प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करोगे तो इट विल बी अ ग्रेट प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर यू टू लर्न समथिंग। तो जब तक आप फाइनल ईयर में जाओगे यू विल हैव द ह्यूज एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ डेवलपिंग अ प्रोजेक्ट। अभी कैसे हो रहा है कि फाइनल ईयर में बच्चे जाके तब उनको कुछ प्रोजेक्ट मिलता है एंड दैट इज द फर्स्ट टाइम दे आर डूइंग इट। So it's a great opportunity for you people right now. You are in second year itself, so you have got more 3 years, second year, third year and final year to work on the different projects. तो अगर आप फैकल्टी मेंबर से बात करोगे या फिर अगर आप किसी एक्टिविटी में कोलैबोरेट हो जाओगे या फिर आप अपनी खुद की आइडिया अगर हमारे साथ शेयर करोगे तो डेफिनेटली वी विल टेक अ लीड ऑन इट एंड वी कैन गो अहेड. ओके. So I am concerned with the SIG one, where I will be looking after the projects for ML, Internet of Things, then computer vision, and yes, these are the 3-4 topics.
Ma'am, I'm not audible.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Ishwari. हाँ आकाश.
Yes, ma'am. So we have to enroll only one of the SIGs, or we can enroll.
हाँ, at a time only one SIG you can choose because क्योंकि कैसे रहता है ना कि अगर 2 SIG लोगे तो 2 डिफरेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स हो जाओगे तो फिर एट दैट टाइम यू विल नॉट एबल टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन वन. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई ओनली सिंगल SIG one at a time. Okay. Yeah.
Ma'am, data science and analytics is usually followed by deployment of models and ML. So why is it separated?
Actually, in one SIG, I cannot take more than 3 topics. So because of that, I have been deployed. But even though it is data analytics, but if some part of ML is required, yes, you can also go for that SIG. No issues.
Yeah, because we do analytics and we make inferences from it and make models accordingly, right?
No. Actually, some analytics projects, there are some projects which only do analytics, okay, which only do analysis. For example, COVID project. Right now, they are only doing the analytics part of it. They are not actually predicting something or they are not working on deployment of the model. So because of
So
that,
just
data
dealing with
analytics
data.
also. Pardon?
So just dealing with data frames, right?
Yes. Only dealing with the data. Okay. Or
Okay.
even there are some companies like the persons who are only managing with the Facebook data, daily Twitter data analysis, and likewise. So they will be only dealing with the data analysis. They will not going to get some deployment into it. So that's the kind of project over there.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Chalo, then whoever has been done with the attendance, they can leave the project. And thank you so much. Yes.
Ma'am, image processing also includes machine learning and deep learning. So it's in the second part. So we will be taught everything from basics for image processing also. Oh,
See, these are the self-paced group. Okay, these all are the self-paced group. We will be going to give you the ideas and you have to evolve with the concepts. Okay, if something has been, that means self-paced means what? यहाँ पे self learning बहुत ही intuitive है. आपको सेल्फ लर्निंग ज्यादा करनी है यहाँ पे. दैट इज वाई यू आर लर्निंग ना, बिकॉज टीचिंग तो अभी भी हो ही रहा है टीचिंग. ओके, इट्स नॉट लाइक के SIG में वहां पे आपको ये पढ़ाया जाएगा वो पढ़ाया जाएगा. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. वी आर ओनली डीलिंग विद द प्रोजेक्ट्स. सो आप एक बार SIG में ज्वाइन हो जाओ, फिर आपको वहां पे डिटेल दिया जाएगा कैसे SIG वर्क होगा. ठीक है. But one thing you need to remember that these are the self-paced groups. Self-learning is motivated. Okay. अगर आप self learning नहीं करते हो तो in that case there will be no use of SIG then. Okay. Chalo, then I will end up with the meeting. I hope everyone has marked their attendance. Okay. Chalo. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you.